Alright everyone, hello and welcome to my Ubisoft E3 2015 recap and reactions live stream. And here I am. Hello everyone. Been an eventful day so far. Now we're going to talk about Ubisoft. I just finished watching their press conference. Let's give a little recap of my reactions to everything that happened at this press conference, alright? Thank you for being here, whether you're live on stream or you're watching this on demand on YouTube. Well, let me just say it this way. They sure know how to kick it off with a bang. Because with all the stuff that Ubisoft could be showing, right, at their press conference, to start it off with what they did this year, I was not expecting. I was actually expecting to hear about this game because I got spoiled a little bit. I actually know someone who's a friend of someone who's a dev on the game. So I kind of knew this was coming. And I was like, yes, I wonder when they're going to do it. And they started the press conference with it. Ladies and gentlemen, South Park, The Stick of Truth, is getting a sequel. Because the game not only was critically acclaimed, did so well in sales, they decided to make a new one, which is freaking awesome, right? This game is called South Park The Fractured Butthole, or The Fractured Butthole, which is the inside joke. And this time around, they actually tease at it because, of all things, right? They tease at it and they say, it's going to be the Stick of Truth sequel. And they even have things, oh, it's the stick. You know, it's the stick. And everyone's going for the stick, the power of the stick, and then they're like, wait a minute, that's not what this game is about. This game's about superheroes. And then they change their outfits, and they're in superhero outfits. So the first game was about RPGs that dealt with fantasy style. This will be an RPG game dealing with superheroes. So it's going to be pretty good. We have no idea, will it be turn-based RPG, or are they going to change it and make a completely different style of game? We don't know. There was no real gameplay on display. It was actually more of just kind of a trailer playing, and it was funny because then they had Aisha Tyler comes out. Now she has hosted the Ubisoft press conference for several years now. Some people like her, some people hate her. I personally like her for her work on the show Archer. So she comes out, she's hosting it, and she invites out Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the makers of South Park. They come out, and she says, I love it because first of all, they're saying, fuck, dick, ass, you know, shit, all the words that adults like to hear, they're saying in the press conference, which I like. So they all come out, and she says to them, now, I could have sworn we interviewed you a couple of years ago, and you said that the Stick of Truth would be the final game that you will ever play. Or that you will ever play. Boy, I screwed that one up. That the Stick of Truth will be the final game that you ever make. And they kind of said, yeah, well, at the time it was a lot of work, and we were really burnt out, and we basically talk out of our asses. But after we were done making that game, not only was it such a hit, but we made so much fun, we want to make another one using the framework of the last game. So it's looking like there will be a big sequel to the South Park game. Obviously, I'm fucking excited. You know how much I loved the South Park The Stick of Truth last year. No info on a release yet. I'm gonna guesstimate, and I'm gonna probably say 2017, because it took them a long time to make the last one. I could be wrong, because they have the framework in place now. Maybe it'll be out sometime next year, but I'm gonna guesstimate 2017. But yeah, definitely, I'm happy to hear this. Not too much info about it besides this promotional trailer. I'm really psyched. I think everyone's psyched for another South Park game. Okay. The next game that was premiered is a new IP. Alright, and it was kind of confusing because the actual gameplay of the game is not gameplay, it's a trailer, of course. It's showing a samurai fighting, but then it cuts to like a Viking, and then it cuts to like a knight, and you're kind of confused, like, what is this game about? Is it, you know, are you one person? Is it multiple people throughout time? And this guy comes out who has this giant beard. He looks like a Viking. He's got a cane, and he talks, and he's got a really dramatic, deep voice. So he's really a great presenter, in my opinion. He sold the game just on his voice and presentation alone. And he's like, you know, would you fight or would you run if you were in this situation? We have a new game for you called For Honor. It's going to feature a new combat system called the Art of Battle. And it's going to be 4 versus 4 competitive gameplay, also with AI involved, and so they actually do a demo, and I hate to say it, the first of many gameplay live demos that aren't really gameplay live demos. We know from experience, because I can tell you right now, they claimed to do gameplay live demos when I was at E3 in 2012, and they showed us Watch Dogs, and it wasn't a gameplay demo at all. It was a pre-rendered bullshit. Same thing here. They have all these people on stage pretending like they're playing, and they're not. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, they do this, right? They have this live gameplay going on, and it's 4 kind of big dudes, like knights, with a bunch of little AI-controlled minions, and they're charging in against another kind of group of minions. They're very colorful, by the way. One whole army's blue, one whole army's kind of orangish. And since you're the more superpowered guy, you're kind of cleaving through these armies of minions. Then all of a sudden you meet up with the other 4 players on the other side who apparently are just as powerful as you. And you start going and breaking off into like duels, where it's like one-on-one duels. Some people were cutting off on like 2-on-2 duels. The combat was hard to read. I saw there was like, it was all sword swinging combat. It was some parrying I saw, some dodging. There was some one unique dodge where the guy like parried and then he rolled to the other side of the enemy behind him and tried to stab him from behind. So it looked pretty interesting, but at the same time, I'm not sure, you know, what is this game really going to boil down to? Will it all be 4-on-4 melee combat? Will there be other elements to it? You know, is the multiplayer all 4-on-4? Will it have a campaign? None of that, of course, was explained. But it basically said that the game is in development. No real release date yet, but if you want to check it out, forhonorgame.com, you can actually register to be part of early gameplay of it. Maybe they'll have betas and stuff, but a new IP, and it looked interesting. Did it blow me away? No, but it looked interesting if they implement some truly unique things. They mentioned this Art of Battle game engine, which I'm curious to see what exactly that means. It's good they're doing a new IP, okay? Next, they announced a Crew expansion, The Crew. Yeah, remember that game from last year? I don't either. I didn't even play it. It's the Crew, racing game. We'll have an expansion called Wild Run that'll be coming out. I didn't even pay attention. They gave a release date, and I don't even care. Trials Fusion Awesome Level Max. Pretty much everyone watching this said, what the fuck am I watching? It was a tiger humanoid thing riding a unicorn that breathed fire, and there were explosions everywhere, and everyone's like, how the fuck is this Trials Fusion? And I think everyone, they didn't show gameplay. They just showed this weird trailer thing. They're saying this is coming out July 14th. If you know Trials, and you know Trials Fusion, you know what it is. You know, it's games where you're riding on bikes and other vehicles, and you're trying to do stunts and stuff. So apparently now it's going to go out of control with horses and fantasy-style shit. Completely jumping the shark, probably, but who knows. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, next was a big presentation of The Division. Now, The Division, admittedly, when it premiered at E3 some 3 fucking years ago, kind of was interesting. Wow, Tom Clancy is a Tom Clancy thing, and it's supposed to be post-apocalyptic, where the Earth has been infected by a virus, so now everything's under kind of crazy martial law, and you have these different groups of mercenaries who go around doing whatever they want. And when they first showed The Division, they said it would be cooperative. Then the next year, I remember they showed this trailer, not trailer, but supposedly gameplay with simulated voice chat of how you're going to communicate with your people over the internet with voice chat and doing squad-based gameplay. So this year, a lot more information has come out. They said this location is called the Dark Zone, and this is set in New York City, and you're going to go into downtown New York, and you're going to look at different stuff, and they actually have a simulated thing, where it's a team of, like, a certain number of people. I guess the team you were supposed to be with was 3 people, and you're going in to fight some hoodlums, and I guess they were AI controlled, and there's this discussion about, we need to kill them to get their loot. So apparently it's going to be a loot-based shooter. But then all of a sudden, another team of human-controlled people come up behind you, and you're like, gee, are they hostile or not? In this case, apparently they weren't, and they all decide to team up to kill these hoodlums. So they do, and then they go to an extraction point, and they throw a canister, and they say, 90 seconds till extraction. So it's basically the team of 3, and then the team of 2 standing near this canister that's letting off smoke. We got 90 seconds to go. What should we do? And the one guy goes, man, I just can't stop thinking about what loot they might have gotten when we killed those guys with them. And they're like, all right, let's just take their fucking loot. So they open fire on these guys, right? So they open fire on these 2 innocent people that had just teamed up with them and helped them. They're stealing the loot. All of a sudden, one of the people in the 3-person team goes rogue, cuts off voice communication, and kills the other 2, and basically takes all the loot. So what they're telling you is, in this game, you can randomly team up with people, you can do all kinds of cooperative gameplay, but you can also turn at any time and just slaughter everyone and take all their fucking loot. So basically, this game is Asshole Simulator 101. How not to play a fucking game online that's fun, kill everyone around you, and steal all their fucking loot. Like, why would you want to do that? If you're playing a team-based shooter game, why would you want to, anytime anyone could go rogue and just murder you and steal all the loot? Especially, there'll be people who find abusive tactics and will be able to murder everyone and get the loot every fucking time. But, I digress. I'll be honest with you. The Division is now, we've been seeing previews of The Division at E3 for 3 straight years. I'm not impressed anymore. Like 2-3 years ago when we were seeing it at first, it looked pretty good. It had a good premise. It's now 2015. And we've seen games, you know what I mean, around the same caliber, and I'll be honest, I'm not really blown away by it anymore. I think, unfortunately, The Division may end up being one of those games that falls victim to game was so long in development that by the time it came out, it's already obsolete. And I don't really care about a cooperative shooter that has voice communications and may have drone. Remember 1 or 2 years ago they showed a drone. You could maybe control the drone on a mobile device, which is hilarious. So I'm playing on my iPad, I'm controlling the fucking drone. Like, anyone's gonna care about that. And you could steal everyone's fucking loot by being a dick. Like, it just didn't seem to make sense. It just seemed to be, like, not a good concept in my opinion. But again, that is my opinion. So they announced that there will be betas in very early 2016, and the game is coming out on every platform, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, March 8th, 2016. So again, even Ubisoft is doing it. Most of the games they're coming out with are not coming out on the last-gen consoles anymore, so everyone's going to have to jump to that next generation, okay? Then they showed a trailer for a game called Anno 2205. And really, the only thing I have to say about this game, it looks like SimCity Future, where you can make futuristic cities spaced in the year 2205 on Earth and also on the moon. And they really didn't show any real gameplay. It was just a really cinematic trailer and didn't really divulge much information at all, which I'll be honest, kind of pissed me off a little bit, because you're like, I wish they would show actual gameplay of this, but they don't. And they say there will be a beta. There'll be a beta you can get. No. There's a beta coming later this year. All right. Now, you know what? Let's have a transition here. Here we go. You'll like this. There's our transition to the next template, because next out came, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Just Dance. And Ubisoft does this every year, and every year everyone groans and says, motherfucker. Again, I hate to say it. I will say it again. Dear game developers, dear game publishers, know your audience. The people watching E3 are not the core audience who go out and buy Just Dance every year. In fact, the core audience who buy Just Dance don't buy any of your other games. They have their party system with their Kinect from when they bought Xbox One, or their PS camera, or whatever it is that they use to play these Just Dance games. And they only buy Just Dance and other silly party games. They're the casuals. They're not the hardcore people who are here watching E3. You don't need to mention Just Dance. You don't even need to fucking just say Just Dance is coming out, and that's it. You don't need to advertise. But Ubisoft, again, stupid idiots, don't realize who they're actually advertising to and who's watching E3. So we have to have a 15-minute segment for Just Dance. This time around, they come out and they say, oh, guess what? For 2016, no cameras needed for Just Dance. Gee, I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that the Kinect is no longer sold with the Xbox One and no one is buying the PS camera. I'm just saying. So now they're saying, guess what? You can play Just Dance with your smartphone. You sync your smartphone to your console and you dance like this. Great. Just sounds like a great fucking game that I want to hear about. You know what I mean? So then, as if, we were like, previous years, they always have dancers come out and pretend to play Just Dance even though they're not playing it. Choreographed assholes coming out. Last year, they even had people from some fucking dance program or whatever come out. How can they top that? How can they make themselves look stupider in the year of 2015? We'll get Jason Derulo. So Jason Derulo, a guy who can't fucking sing, comes out and starts pretending to sing. And this was, I have to tell you guys, this was a godsend. And I have to tell you something. I am so happy that my stream crapped out. And if my stream was going to crap out during all of E3, the stream I was watching crapped out during Jason Derulo. I shit you not, I got it working again when he was done. So I feel bad for those of you who were watching the stream and your streams didn't crap out. Because if you had to waste your time watching that fucking drivel, I apologize. But I didn't see it, so I was happy. I was like, yeah, 15 minutes it'll take me to get this back up and running. It was up and running. I was like, this is great. Excellent. So, Jason Derulo, laughingstock, get the fuck off the stage. Then it was hilarious. This was really hilarious. I came back, I swear to you, this is exactly what happened. I'm not kidding. I came back, my stream started loading, it loads, and immediately it cuts to Aisha Tyler talking to Jason Derulo, and she goes, wow, that song is a huge hit. And she said it just like that. She was saying a huge hit, but I think she intentionally said it fast to make it sound like huge shit. I swear to you, watch the conference back or watch that moment. I swear she did it on purpose because she's probably making fun of the asshole. She says huge shit just like that instead of huge hit. And it was huge shit. So then they announced the big announcement for Just Dance this year, ladies and gentlemen, the dance streaming service. That's right. You can subscribe to a stream service that will stream content all the time to your fucking console so you can dance all fucking night and day. You get up, you're dancing with fucking pillows and shit all over your house, and you're doing backflips with your fucking phone. You throw your fucking iPhone into the sky as you're playing to break your fucking iPhone, but it's okay because you get to fucking be part of the Just Dance fucking experience. God damn it, it's so good. I can't believe it's so good. Okay, I'm going to calm down now. We're now going to actually move on to real games. I apologize for that. When I talk about Just Dance, I just get so fucking excited. I have to calm myself. Hold on. Okay, whew. All right. I think I'm back now. I think I'm okay. I think I can keep talking about this press conference now. All right. So up next, Rainbow Six Siege, a game that we've heard about for a couple years now. And this is hilarious because they start playing the game, right? First of all, they don't play the game. They run a trailer, and they have Angela Bassett in this trailer for it. And you're like, oh, she's an American actress. Nice, whatever. You know, I saw her recently in American Horror Story Season 3. And so you're watching it, and then they say, okay, there's going to be gameplay. So they start... They're going to show gameplay, supposedly, but it's not. It's just a trailer, okay? It's a trailer. It shows the guys breaking into a building. It's very similar to what we saw last year. So, like, okay, big deal. So then Aisha Tyler comes out again and says, there'll be no respawning. In this game, there's no respawning. If you die, you die. You don't come back until, say, the next match, okay? Then they say, oh, guess what? Angela Bassett is here. And surprisingly enough, Angela Bassett comes out, says absolutely nothing, and leaves within, say, 2 minutes. So it was a complete waste of time, and I don't know why they had her there. She's an actress. She's going to read her fucking lines, do her motion capture, and leave. She doesn't care about the game. I don't know. You don't need Angela Bassett at E3. So she gets the fuck off the stage. And then they go back to gameplay. It's probably fake gameplay, because 4 more people come out. Oh, we're going to play this, right? Yeah, okay, I'm sure this is real gameplay. If anything, I could tell you this. The game looks a lot similar to the classic Rainbow Six formula. It really does look like you get shot 1 or 2 times, you're downed. That's it. It looks like it's very tactical. But at the same time, it was funny because people in the stream chat were saying, well, that's actually pretty funny because we're watching other streams that are going on between the press conferences. Other people have been playing it, and they're not playing it tactically at all. They're running and gunning just like any other FPS game. So apparently the game can be played, run and gun style. It's just very reckless to do that because if you get shot, you die and you don't respawn in this. So it does push itself more towards tactical, voice communication style combat. The question is, do the mainstream gamers want that? Okay. And then they say that the beta for the game will be released on September 24th. We already knew the release date. I had it on my calendar already over there is on October 13th. So we already knew that, but there's a beta coming out at the end of September. Okay. The next game was pretty wild. Trackmania. Now, Trackmania is a game that's been around for a while, has been gone for a while, and I guess it's coming back. It's this zany game where you can drive cars that look like Forza cars and stuff like that. Formula 1 cars, stuff like that, and you could drive them on crazy-ass tracks a la Mario Kart. So we're talking loop-de-loops, tracks that have jumps and stuff. And so they're showing the gameplay. You're like, wow, this looks pretty interesting. This could be an interesting game. It's very different. And then, oh my god, one of the developers comes out for this game. Now, I couldn't lie to you. He's white. He's chubby. He's got a hipster fucking beard, a ginger-looking beard that's all unkept. The typical hipster regular glasses, thicker glasses. He's got a hat on. He's wearing a bright, like, nuclear pink fucking neon t-shirt that says, easy to pick up, hard to master. And I'm like, oh my god, like, seriously, who's your boss? Your boss approved you to wear this shit? Like, seriously. And it totally deflated the whole presentation. Because you thought, wow, that game looks good. Then you see this guy and you're like, oh, like, what happened? And I know this has nothing to do with the game, but I'm sorry. If you're going to present at E3, I'm not saying you have to dress up like a super villain like some of these fucking people like the EA CEO. At least try to look like a normal fucking human. You may be a jackass in real life. At least do something with your beard, Don't look like a fucking unkept asshole. And he did. He looked like a fucking hipster idiot walking out with this outfit on. And you're like, oh my god. But anyway, let me get back to the game. The game looks interesting. The game actually looks like it could be some arcadey style, crazy, zany fun. I don't know, though, not too much information was given, but it looks like a more realistic Mario Kart, basically, combining, you know, the zany gameplay of Mario Kart with realistic cars, but it didn't really show much in regards to, is it racing against other people? Is it just going to be time trials? It was very confusing, so we'll see. Then, one of the things that I think everyone was waiting for, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Of course, no mention of the hilarious disaster that was Assassin's Creed Unity when they start talking about this game. I was a little disappointed, I'll be honest, because they didn't show gameplay. It was just a trailer of, oh, Assassin's Creed is now in London, everyone has mutton chops, and you're kind of in the industrial era, and you show the guy who's, I don't know even know the name of the protagonist in this one yet, he goes into one of these factories where there's like child labor and all these horrible things going on, and he starts fighting the people in there, and then it shows him in a bar, and he's trying to recruit more people to what he calls the Ravens, I guess, or the Crow. I think he called them the Crows. So he's trying to recruit people to his group who are basically the assassins, but I guess they're called the Crows or whatever in London, and people like call him, oh, you're not a tough guy, and he fights someone, and then they're all convinced, and then they all join him, and that's kind of the end of the trailer. And I'll be honest, that was disappointing, because I want to know more about the game. I'd like to say what's new about this game. They showed him jumping on like a horse and carriage at one point. Okay, that's fine. But please show me, you know, show me something about some gameplay. Will there be an Assassin's Guild that you're recruiting to, a la the original Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy? Will it not have that? Will it have minigames? Will it not have that? You know, the past couple of games, we had minigames with sailing and stuff like that. And no explanation whatsoever. So basically just buy our game because it's Assassin's Creed. Forget the fact that we made a piece of shit last year. And you better just buy it because, you know, you're a sucker and you'll buy anything that we put out that says Assassin's Creed on it anyway. It's generally how I felt after watching that trailer. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. At least show us some gameplay or tell us something. And they told us nothing. Okay. And I do have to say this. It was absolutely hilarious. This guy comes out and his name was literally like Mark something basic. But because he's French, he goes, my name is Maxi, and everyone's like, your name is blah, 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 Gesundheit. Alright, but anyway, now I digress. The final thing that they showed during the Ubisoft press conference, they don't tell you what it is. They say it's a returning Ubisoft franchise, that they're excited that it's coming back and they've transformed it, but they don't exactly tell you what it is, so you don't know what to expect, okay? So, they show these people being airdropped in. They come in on parachutes. They all come down. It's obviously a squad of people. And it seems like you're kind of in the middle. I don't know where it was. Africa, you know, Central America. Some area that's a more arid climate, but it has some tropical style to it, too. Drugs, there's cocaine, and they're trying to stop these criminals that are doing stuff, and they're fighting criminals, and all this stuff. It just doesn't really look like anything, quite honestly. And then they showed, like, a cutscene, and then they go back, and now they show you, like, the guy who you're actually controlling, and he's doing all these melee kills with his elbow, walking up on people, and then it shows explosions and some gunplay and not other gunplay, and it's very confusing. And you're like, I really don't know what this could be. Like, it could only be a certain amount of things, you know, that Ubisoft hasn't played or done in years that they're going to reboot. And then it ended up being Ghost Recon Wildlands, okay? To which I have to ask the question, how are you Ghost Recon and you're in the middle of a fucking open plain? The whole idea of Ghost Recon is you're going into urban areas, you're going in as a ghost, you're not supposed to be detected, you're not seen, you're using high-tech technology to be this stealth team that gets in and out, gets your job done, you're extracted, you're done. How the fuck do you do that in the middle of, say, an arid climate like that? And again, the gameplay didn't seem like that. It seemed more like, okay, there may be a little bit of that stealth aspect, but it's not really. So, I think this may be a case where they wanted to make a new game, and they're like, oh, we should just use the name of something we already have to get name recognition and more people will buy it. Oh, let's get Ghost Recon. Oh, we'll add some stealth in, but it's really not, just a third-person cover shooter. But we'll call it Ghost Recon so that we can say we're rebooting a franchise. Which is pretty lame. Now, there were a few not startling, but disappointing absences. I thought we might see Rayman again. No Rayman whatsoever. I guess after the debacle a couple years ago, they're really not going to go back to Rayman at this point, which is a shame. No Hitman. What was the other one that I was looking for? Oh, Splinter Cell. No Splinter Cell. So there were several big Ubisoft franchises that were just missing from this press conference, leaving a giant glaring hole saying, where are these games? So I guess we're going to have to see. Alright, so overall, what do I think of Ubisoft? South Park, by far, is the highlight of the whole press conference for me. Because That was an amazing game. It appealed to everyone. We want to see another game like that, and we're going to get it. And now we're all fucking pumped for that, right? But quite honestly, everything else, either it was like not enough info to know exactly what it is, or it's a gun game, you know? And I hate to say this, dear Ubisoft, whoever you want to pronounce your name, and I know you probably don't understand what I'm saying because you're all French anyway, and now, of course, I'm joking, I'm not serious, but can you make some, like, original stuff? And I mean it, like, all your franchises, let's just go through here. For Honor, a melee-based combat fighter, could be interesting, but we don't know too much about it yet. The Crew, already knew about it. Trials Fusion, but some zany twist on it, already knew about it. The Division, we've known about it for 3 fucking years. We want the game, and at this point, it's probably not going to be very good because it took so long to develop. Anno 2205, it's SimCity in the future. Just Dance, you've been doing that for how long as your cash cow? Rainbow Six, we know what that is. Okay, Trackmania. Wow. There was one original thing. Trackmania. You know what I mean? It's like, Ubisoft, we got guns, bitch! Boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, but you're not oppressing me with that anymore. Like, Ubisoft used to be known for a wide variety of stuff, and now they're really narrowing down their product line to these kind of focused efforts. And even though, yeah, I understand, Just Dance is a cash cow, Assassin's Creed is a cash cow, that doesn't mean you shouldn't innovate. And when your most innovative game there was a game that was way off, and the best thing about your press conference was a surprise sequel, you got problems. I'll be honest, I wasn't really impressed by Ubisoft this year. I thought they've done better in previous years, and I thought that it was kind of a letdown. I was looking for stuff that wasn't there. And right now, this is my least favorite press conference of the entire event. I think it was kind of a letdown, except for South Park. The entire event was kind of a flop. So, that's just my personal opinion. You could disagree with me, all right? So, I would like to say thank you. Whether you watch this live on stream or you're watching this on YouTube, I will be covering the other press conferences going on at E3 this year as well. Thank you for watching. I got to get going because I got some time to eat dinner and I got to get ready for another press conference. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you later for more coverage. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you then.